Hello, how are you? I'm Wilson Tan. I'm a KPI consultant for SME companies. Today, I'm going to share with you for employees, how can you become a shareholder of a company, right? Interesting, right? You want to know how you want to be a shareholder, how your boss choose you to be a shareholder. Do you know what is the criteria to be part of your company shareholder? If you're interested, follow me now. Hi, good morning. Woon, how are you?
Good, good. Hi, good morning, Wilson.
Good morning. Have you started your shop, your optical shop?
Yeah, so my center's been open since last Monday. So we are allowed to open since last Monday.
I
So
see.
this will be the second.
Where's your center located?
I have two centers, one in SS2 and one in Damansara Uptown.
I see. Okay, okay. So I understand that. Just want to understand your business lah. You are in a optical line, you know. So there's a difference between optometrist and also optician, right? What's the difference? Just briefly.
Okay, so briefly, there's three types of people in the eye trade. One is the eye specialist, the one very easy. They are in the eye specialist in the hospital, do surgery and so on. Then the other one would be what you will find in an optical shop between opticians and optometrists. So optometrists, you think of us like more like your GP, like your polyclinic doctors, whereby besides helping people to see clearly, we also check for eye health. That means it's a total thing. Besides helping to see clearly, we check for eye health to make sure that the eyes are healthy, so that we can pick up eye diseases early to refer to the eye doctors.
I see.
The other difference is also we check from babies to adults. Something that the normal optical shops don't do.
Woon is my good friend. He is one of the best optometrists in the town. Okay, so if you want to look for a very good optometrist, please talk to Woon. Okay.
Thank you so much for your kind comment.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the fact. Okay. So yeah, Woon, may I know, have you heard of KPI?
Yes, it's if I'm not mistaken, it's key performance indicators.
Yes. What is your view on KPI? What do you think about KPI?
I think KPI is important, especially when you have a large organization, or if you are not really present at the business, because I think this is a set expectations of measurable expectations for not for companies as well as for the employees, so that they know what they are measured against. So it's important for that for evaluation purposes, as well as I mean, we all do goal setting. So I think KPI is important that way.
Yes, very right, very right. Thank you for sharing. In your from your perspective, what is considered a good employee?
What is considered a good employee?
Yes, let's say if I'm an employee, how can I know? How can I be a good employee?
Okay, I think there is two measures to it. One is measurable, and the other ones that are not measurable but can be observed. To me, is number one is whether the employee own the interest of the company. That means they're always thinking about the interest of the company as well as the customers. So that's very important to us. That means, for example, like when they serve a customer, do they really take care of the customer? Would they go all lengths to make sure that everything is done to serve the customer in the customer's interest? So because when that happens, I think the company will win.
How do you differentiate that?
You can see that from certain employees, they just want to, they just want to complete the sales. But if let's say customer comes to complain, they have no interest in solving those complaints. But to us, business is long term, whereby the customer, we will make, of course, we try to make at least mistake as possible, correct? That means if we get, so one of the KPI will be as little mistakes as possible. But even when mistakes happen, whether the employee would take ownership and solve that person's mistake. And very often that, when we solve customers, the mistakes that we make, customer feel happy, and then they will know that, okay, I can depend on this company to make it right for me. So that's very important.
Yeah, I think for employee, we need to have a right mindset. You know, if you are money driven, just money driven, not for long term, for here to just earn the short term money, then you don't care about the core values. You don't care about the long term for the company. You only think about what can I get now? How much I can earn now? You know, that may not be the good employee for you, right?
Correct. In
Yeah.
fact, actually, the funny thing is that for employee to earn more, actually, if you take care of the customer will be happy, come back,
Sure.
and then refer more people to you. And then I think that is a long-term win rather than a short-term win. I think long-term win is even bigger.
True.
Right.
I think we should not create a no money, no talk culture here. We should emphasize a lot on the core values, what we believe, you know, the company purpose. We are here for the long term with the customer.
In fact, sometimes the things that we do, sometimes it's for free. You know, let's say customer comes in, not from us, and we do some repairs for the customer, and we didn't charge the customer for those repairs. So for me, it's time spent, it's resources spent, but yet, when the customer is happy, they will come back, and that's how we grow our business lah. So always think long term. So then second thing is great and positive attitude lor. I think if someone brings a great and positive attitude to the company, I think the whole culture is energized compared to a poor attitude. I think the third one is learning from mistakes. I think everyone will make mistakes, but I think the more important thing that I will want my employee as well as myself is to learn from those mistakes and not to repeat the same mistake again and again. That means it doesn't show that we learn. Yeah, so we shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes, but we should learn from those mistakes. Yeah. Other forms of best employee would be if employee is customer focused, and also I think one that is very lacking would be sharpening the saw. The 7 habits of effective people.
Yep.
I think some of the employees are only good at executing, but do not spend time on how to improve. The one very few. I mean, we don't expect it from every employee, but if an employee has this, thing to make things even faster, or more effective, or cost efficient, and so on, that one would be a fantastic employee. Of course, employee has to be a team player. I think, that support each other, because you do not want employee to be just for themselves only and not supporting each other, right? You want an employee to grow individually in their skill sets, as well as their responsibilities and so on, and to be very effective. I think this to me is a very good employee, and ultimately, if the employee can do more, in the sense of if the employee can rise up in leadership and actually manage the business for the employer, that is the ultimate fantastic. You'll be happy to share your profits with this type of employee. Yeah, they can run it without you ultimately.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, especially in the retail line, it's very, very important, the attitude. Okay. What kind of employee upset you in your past experience?
I think what kind of employee personally is they don't care, or they think of themselves only, and they don't care, and they don't own the interest of the company. I give you an example. For example, let's say a customer come, and then we order something for this customer. So a good employee will be, they will make sure that this customer will receive their products on time. The other one would be like, I don't care, and then if a customer comes and the thing is not ready, or the thing is defective, and so on, and the employee doesn't really make sure that this gets done. So to me, I think I'll be very upset this type of employee. But thankfully, my employees are very good in the sense that they will make sure that things comes on time and even before time, and make sure that everything is perfect, because you want to deliver the best experience, as we are also customers ourselves. Number 2 is, of course, we'll be upset if, let's say, the same employee make the same mistake 10 times and never learning from it. Or if the employee is not a team player, we have seen this happening before, and in my organization they don't last long. That means if let's say one employee is very busy, and then the other employee should go and support the employee, the other employee, so that things become easier, so that when this other employee who's not busy next time become busy, then someone else will come and support. It's not to say, oh, this is not my job, this is your job, and so on. I think that is not a good culture for us. Of course, if the person is absent, that means don't come for work or always late, or this brings a negative things to us. So I'll get very upset when all these things happen. Yeah.
Okay. What is the expectation from your perspective as a boss from the employees during this crisis?
Okay, I think I have been very fortunate to have very good employees. I am very transparent with them, always updating them on what is the crisis like. For us we have been closed from 18th of March until last Monday. So there is no income at all. So we also tell the employee, our reserves, how long can we last, and so on. So the expectation is for the employee, so that when they understand what is happening, they are actually, aware of what they must do and what they must not do, to be effective. I think a lot of our efforts, we don't waste time. We want to be very effective in carrying our customers and see how we can bring the business back as soon as possible. So I'm very blessed with good employees. In fact, some of them actually approach me and ask me whether they can reduce their salary or not. You don't get these employees are very hard to get. They understand your struggle and they understand what you need to go through. So I'm not letting go any of my employees during this time.
Sure.
I told them, so they know what they need to do, and they are working very hard during this time. They understand.
The next question is going to be quite a sensitive question. It's about termination. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to promote any bosses to terminate your employee or lay off your employee, because as a good boss, as a good leader, the layoff and termination should be the last thing you should do. You have to take care of your employees. But in the event a company really cannot sustain, no cash flow, no customer, no income, go to the worst scenario, you have no cash to pay the salary, you have to terminate someone. What will be your criteria? Who to terminate first?
I think in fact, during the MCO, we did tell them we will hold our employees as much as we can. I say we will hold to you as much as we can. But in the event that, let's say, because we cannot forecast what's in the future, whether the business will drop until we cannot sustain. So when that happens, then I told them that there might be a chance that we will let people go. But as much as possible, that we do not want that to happen. So I think the criteria to let go employees for this particular season would be, I think we need to know what are the employees you need to critically to serve the business. That means these are the key few people to help you pull through. That means you have to rank them according to their, unfortunately, their capabilities as well as their cost. So you have to see whether what are the minimum, and you have to let them go that way, or what are the few key people. You have to rank them, and then you have to let go in those stages. Some people say let go those who are in the last, right? But I don't think that is very true. I think we have to see who is more capable, like in your size, in KPI sense. So for example, let's say this person's salary is double of the juniors, but this person productivity is maybe 3 to 4 times higher, then you have to think, okay, I may be better off with a senior than rather a junior.
Sure.
Right. Of course, the other thing would happen also if you pay someone too high, and the person is good, but you pay someone too high, but the juniors can do what the seniors can do. So I think in those circumstances, you maybe have to renegotiate with the seniors whether they are willing to reduce their salary to be more to offer more value. Then you have to decide who you want to keep. Also, I think the other thing also other factors will be whether the person is going to stay long term. If someone that will only stay, even if you retain the person will only stay another 1 year, versus another person will say, okay, he has been with you for 5-6 years and will continue to do so. Also, sometimes you want to hold on to those who have stayed with you for a long time, so that it's very hard to find good employees. So you want to retain those who do that. But I think if it's not in this season, I mean, if it's not in bad economy season, of course, the cases for termination would be those who do not, violate. I think I would say violate the core values, for example, like lie or steal and so on.
Okay. Woon, have you ever thought of even in the future, have you thought of giving share option to your employee? If you do, what would be the criteria to be part of the business?
So so far I have given share options to 2 of my employees.
Oh, really? That's very good.
Because I made them partners when I start up new practices. I think one of the reason why I do that is because I feel that once someone has been with me for a long time, and then they contribute to the business, and they ultimately, for me, is if they can run the business without me and it can grow, I think I should be giving share options to these people, because they can help me grow the business, and basically if I can not be in the business and the business can continue to run, then I think I can have an option to give share options to these employees. But I realized that from the 15 years we've been in business, I think share options should be only given very carefully, or to those who are really big contributors. I mean, if they have made a significant impact and they can run the business without you, I think share options should be given to those, and not given to unwisely. Because for some people, they still have an employee mindset, or they're just coming to work and they don't take proactive step to grow the business. Then I don't think you should be giving to these people.
What is the mindset that you expect, non-employee mindset?
Non-employee mindset. I think these people are pretty much like business owners. Maybe they don't have the capital to start up a business of their own, and but they are going all out to grow the business for you. I mean, it's really good that way. Imagine you can find someone, a superstar salesperson, who treats your company as your own, and also can manage your staff and run the whole operations without you. This is the dream employee, correct? So that your time is freed up, and then for the employer, the time is freed up, and you can probably start other businesses. If you find enough of these people, your business can expand very far.
Yep. So for the employee out there, if you want to be part of the business, you have to do extra mile. You cannot just be ordinary employee. You have to show your commitment, show how you take care of the business without the bosses in play. You also can manage everything for the bosses. You are not calculative. Then you will have a chance to be part of the shareholder. Okay, Woon, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best in your business. Looking forward. So have a nice day to you, and take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you, Wilson, for the opportunity. I've seen your business grow of leaps and bounds. I wish you all the best as well. And thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, see you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.